letting them figure it out, letting them fail, and letting them kind of grow that way. That greatly reduced, those things greatly reduced my firefighting personally. Getting a project manager is huge. I think if I was going to go back and do my entrepreneur journey earlier, I'd hire that person years earlier. And it's op managers are awesome, but you need somebody who tags along with you and puts out the fires with you. And what I mean by that is, here's what happened to me. So I'd go to Shane and I'd be like, okay, Shane, what's going on? You'd be like, da-da-da-da. So I'd help you solve that problem, right? And we'd say, okay, let's solve that together, move forward. Then I'd go to the next one, the next one, the next one. Well, the framework that I built for you, even though it was intuitive to me, it wasn't intuitive to you because you've never done it before. So you only get bits and pieces of it. And we didn't really document that process. So having that project manager follow me and go and say, okay, we're going to go put out a fire. I need your help now to build the system behind it. They would then build it, and then I'd go to the next fire. And then slowly those fires started to go out. The other thing that I learned was I was actually creating a lot of the fires. Now, you're probably not doing this, but I for sure was doing this. I was going to people, and I was like, okay, let me solve the problem for you. Boom, 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 boom. And then I'd give them a whole plan, and then I'd leave the meeting, and then they would go try to execute the plan. And when it would fail, it was really on me. I gave them the plan. So I had to learn to like stop being the executor on everything and start letting other, like what your point, the ownership, say, okay, what do you think we should do? And let them develop a plan. And then when they develop that plan, they could roll it out. And that doesn't mean I still don't get in and sometimes help hands-on. It's just more about letting them figure it out, letting them fail, and letting them kind of grow that way. That greatly reduced, those things greatly reduced my firefighting personally.
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense because I remember in jobs that I worked, like I hate having a boss that felt like they were like overseeing and giving me direction and not letting me like, take on the problem, kind of by the horns and try to solve it myself. And so I realized that I was being that person without intentionally trying to be that person. So yeah, that's exactly kind of was a wake up call for me. And outside of the fact that it's like, I also want to be able to go on a family vacation and not have to worry that if something happens, nobody feels comfortable, fixing it. Like I want to make sure people feel comfortable taking action and the initiative to solve an issue when it arises.
Yeah, the first time I took a full week it was 2 week vacation, no phone, no nothing, didn't check in with business, was right after COVID. It was in 2020. That was the first time that I was able to do that, and things went wrong, and we fixed them, and we got better. Now, every year I unplug for at least 1 week, if not 2 weeks a year, where I just completely, I go on other vacations and stuff, but I get bored, but I intentionally unplug from the business 100% to where I'm not connected at all. You couldn't even I turn off my phone, I put it away, I don't have it with me, and it really helps my brain reset. I think that's really healthy to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you won an Emmy?
Yeah, 2 actually.
So how does that work?
Yeah, so in my journalism career, which actually, let me see, hold on one second. Here's one of my, let me put these back on. So here's one of my golden ladies.
No way,
here.
Bro, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So for everybody listening, if you're not watching on video, he literally has he's holding up an Emmy statue, like the one with the globe and the wings and everything.
Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, it needs dusted. But so I won a couple of them in 2015. But yeah, so my first job out of college was in journalism, and I worked for a couple different ABC News affiliates, and that's where I fell in love with the power of storytelling. And so my Emmys were both from different kind of long form journalism that I was doing, and they were more so on the positive side of things. They weren't deep, dark, stories that I'd been investigating. And that's when I realized that journalism wasn't for me long term, because a lot of news is bad news. And so as you get promoted or you go into bigger markets, you're at more and more shootings and all of these type of things. And I realized this is a drain. And so that's when I switched kind of into the marketing route and loved the storytelling and kind of blending that with helping a business. And then that's kind of what segued me into like the dentistry and our whole philosophy and dental marketing too.